All right.
All
Up
right.
next, we got Steve from Lefeet.
Sounds great. Let's get Steve on. What's going on, Steve?
How's it going? Thanks for letting me join you guys and Tim and dive right in. Really excited about spending a half hour with you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're excited as well. So, Lefeet, what do you got for us?
So we've got something that is just really fun and exciting. And I think the whole direction we're looking at is letting a dive scooter for the masses. You know, if you think of Henry Ford, when he came out with the Model T, it was for the masses, not just the exclusive rich guys that had a car. So what we've got is a small, portable, airplane legal, 5-pound, powerful dive scooter that is priced at $7.99, where everybody that owns their own gear and takes a dive trip, they can certainly afford it. And the capabilities that it has are phenomenal. You know, we've had one report of a guy, 300-pound guy with the single unit with a diver on each fin, pulling him through the water. So
wow.
Some of the details of the product are what make it fun and exciting. You know, you start with the modularity of it, and you have your basic propulsion unit, but then you can do different things up here. And one of the first things that you can do simply with a double bracket, you can convert the single into the double unit that I have.
Hey, buddy. Check that out.
So
double unit.
So weighing 5 pounds or 10 pounds for the double, you know, it really lets it be portable, lightweight to travel with, depth rated down to 130 feet. And you're going to get over an hour of continuous runtime, which we find is usually enough for 2 tank dives. And then some of the other little fun things about the product is that battery cost is always a big issue with DPVs. And they often range from $500 to $1,500 for a replacement battery. Our battery is retail $160. Most of our users buy a spare battery. So when you take that 4-dive boat trip, you do 1 battery in the morning, swap batteries, and go back in for your other 2 dives in the afternoon.
And they charge pretty quick too. They
charge in about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And it's airplane legal. I've traveled with 8 of them in my backpack. And so I like that it's square. You know, if you put it on the table, it doesn't roll off. Or if you're on a boat and it's moving, it doesn't roll all around the place.
We've used these before, right?
Yeah.
When we went Megtooth hunting, it was great.
So the other really fun thing about it is, as I said, it's modular. And one of those modular pieces is the wireless remote.
Oh.
Now, it's meant to be used this way if you want to, 2-hand operation. But what we found is that, and sort of tagging on to what our last presenter just said, the free diving market is really growing. And our leg mounts, where you mount 2 on your legs and simply hold this to control the jets on your leg.
Oh, I want to do this. badly want to do this.
Okay, now, as you get all amped up about that, we also have the tank mounts. And we just got a video from one of our users that had 2 tank mounts and 2 leg mounts, all controlled with 1 remote. We can control up to 10 units with 1 remote.
That's amazing.
It was flying through the water.
Imagine I could control you. I'm like,
units.
all right, here, guys. Everybody watch Gus. And I'm controlling him.
That sounds
But Woody, what you make that in sort of in teasing, but think about the disabled divers, the handicapped divers,
yes,
the paraplegics, where they're learning,
awesome.
And the instructor can be close to the diver and control their speed as well.
Love it.
Look,
Love
completely separated.
Take it apart, use it.
I love it. I'm a classified dive instructor. It's always been a passion of mine. I think that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we have also just a 1-hand mount. It just puts the controller where you just point and shoot. So now it's 1-hand operation. Cool. And all of these things make the product so versatile. It's a dive product. It's a free diver product, The Spiros actually attach this to their handle trigger, and now they have their spear gun in one hand, the other hand has a GoPro, whatever they want, and their tanks are leg mounted, or the jets are leg mounted. Also, with the switch back here, you can control the speed settings if they're mounted on your back or on the leg. So you can change your speed from
high, maximum,
speed,
and then I'm
always.
sure there's other speeds, but that's the one I'm looking for.
So you have 3 speeds: low, medium, and high.
High.
Low speed is going to be equal to what you would be kicking. Medium, faster. High speed is faster than you probably want to go.
I can't wait to go high.
But then when I talk about on the single unit, with the double unit, now you have even more speed. Top speed on the double unit is over 5 miles an hour, which keeps up with the big guys in the dive scooter world. So we match them in performance. Maybe we don't have the 4-hour runtime or things that they may have, but when we're looking for a 1 or 2 tank day, we're this small, portable, compact.
Cannot wait to play with
everywhere you go.
So I got this thing here. This is the speed control.
Okay,
that's how I did.
To turn them on.
Yeah. To turn them on.
There, you hold that to turn it on, and then you hold that to turn the remote on.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And then once
you have to turn on the DPV. There's another one on the top of it.
Up here?
No. On the actual unit, there's a switch.
It's a slide switch.
He's showing you. Yeah, hold it down for a few seconds until you see the light on. There you go. And you don't have to pair or anything. I just turn it on and it just works.
So, and out of the box, it will be that way. Now, if you get 2 and you use your dual rail bar, you will need, and some people make the mistake of using a remote on both sides, but you can use one remote to control both units. It's very simple to pair. The directions are really clear. It pairs, we can pair that second unit to it in about 5 to 10 seconds.
So Woody, we'll put 2 on each leg, 4 on the tank, and 2 in the hands. 10.
Correct. And you can control all 10 of them.
Definitely going to be a dive talk experimental
it's gonna be so
show.
Expensive.
And I am going to strap everything I can on me of these babies and fly. I'm just going to be honest with the community right now. This is coming. This is right up my alley.
For science.
Everybody
for serious, we're very, like that at Dive Talk.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, but fun is supposed to be part of diving. I preach that. How is this not amazingly fun?
Yes.
It's okay to buy something just because it's fun. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, but do you really need it? No, maybe not.
The thing that
I would like to have it.
Yeah.
The thing that I talk to with the dive shops that are selling it, or the consumers at the dive shows or at DEMA, it's a product that if you've bought your own gear and you've invested in getting certified and you're going to spend the time to go to a resort, why not have a little bit more time down below?
Right.
Or make getting to that dive easier and see maybe the whole wreck instead of half the wreck.
Yeah, why not dive like a missile?
Right.
Why not?
Swimming is for savages. We've always said.
I'm never going to be a savage again with this thing. Why should I ever swim when I got this?
Well, the free dive community is really embracing it. Not necessarily so they can zoom around underwater, but they can get to where they want to be quicker and then experience what they got to.
Yeah,
quicker.
that makes sense. Sure.
And the videos are, we're having almost water ballet using power. And, sometimes they'll let out a bubble and it'll blow through the jet. And it's just a lot of fun. Again,
I'm going to definitely be a ballerina soon on that thing. Don't worry. You'll get a little ballet action.
So as we talk about diving and free diving and snorkeling, one of the beauties of Lefeet is that when we're finished our dive, we typically put all our gear away after we've cleaned it, etc., until the next dive. I say when you've finished your dive, leave the Lefeet out, because if you have a paddleboard, you can simply put this onto the paddleboard And now you've got your wireless remote that you can control from above the paddleboard.
Yeah,
and you
Never
now
coming out of the water with this thing. Just
an-
keep throwing me
e-bike.
batteries. You need another battery?
Why would you paddle like an idiot?
I'm
No.
never using any muscles again.
Think
Absolutely.
about an e-bike,
eating a
an
pizza.
e-bike on the water.
Oh my god, I love this.
Eat
thing.
a pizza with the left hand.
Hey, throw me a slice and another battery.
And
So the product will come fully complete with everything that you need. It comes standard with the GoPro mount, so you can enjoy your filming, etc. What we've also found is that with the dual rail bracket, a lot of the cameramen, this turns into a platform where they can attach cameras, lights. Now you can keep up with some of the subjects that you're filming. Instead of watching the whale shark go by you, now you can keep up with it and continue filming.
So one of the things I struggle with, Steve, is the weighting on. I have a DPV that's bigger, is for cave diving, so it's a big full size DPV. Let's just say.
Right.
And one of the things you struggle with is weighting, because if you weight it for fresh water, which are the caves that we typically dive, then when you take it in the ocean, it's too buoyant. So what is the buoyancy, I guess, characteristic of the S1 Pro?
So the S1 Pro is by design negatively buoyant. And the difference in weighting seems to be a little bit different per person. But if we just off the as a start point, if we took 2 pounds of weight out of our pouch, that's going to offset. And then you may fine tune it a half a pound either direction.
Okay.
So we always say, use a wrist lanyard, use a waist belt, always have it connected to you in some manner or another.
So we put 10 of these on us.
Well, I got I'm a tour. I got a head mount. I'm going to put one on my helmet.
The helmet jet.
Will you by the neck?
The helmet jet will be in my neck, but that doesn't matter. I just want to fly.
Let's
get after.
To answer the snorkeling community, we have this lovely accessory, which at first, personally, I thought it was a little bit, but the snorkeling community and the snorkel rental tour operators love this thing. They attach it onto the S1 Pro. Yeah. It gives it the flotation that it needs. And the snorkelers aren't diving anyway. They're just on the top of the water, and you have all the little baby sharks powered around, and they get to see more of the reef that they're on. Or we can encourage more people. And this is the thing the last presenter was talking about saving the ocean, and I'm all behind that as well. I'm also about getting more people into the water, getting people back into the water, and getting people that used to be in the water that think it's time to give it up back in again.
Yeah. Well, all kidding aside, I mean, in South Florida, we have the Gulf Stream right off the beach. So the snorkelers end up a mile downshore.
Right.
Well, this way they can just motor back.
They can motor back.
Because you're not swimming back against the Gulf Stream in South Florida. It's
or
not happening.
when you're diving and you encounter, a horrendous bottom current.
Yeah.
You're going to end up, or you're going to be so gassed that you're going to see a quarter of the wreck. So, it's, to me, I call it the ultimate what if. What if you get tired? What if you cramp up? What if your partner needs some help getting back to the boat or to shore? It's that ultimate what if. And actually last year at DEMA, it was brought to my attention by the cave divers, by the tech guys. And they made the comment to me because previously I said, we're not that product. We're not the cave diver product. We're not for them. But the cave divers started coming back to me and said, Steve, we have double and triple redundancy on everything except the DPV. And they said, yours is small enough and light enough and inexpensive enough. We think of it as our pony bottle, our spare air. Yeah. Everybody's going to have one of those. And with the money that they've invested in their cave diving, they just tow this behind them or strap it on a leg just in case, just what if. We're not going to be the primary propulsion source, but we can get them back home if things go sideways.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Really cool.
Well, so what do you have the tank attachment? I know we have it somewhere, but maybe you have
it. Yeah, it's in I opened it and
Yeah.
That's
And-
it. Yeah.
So the tank mounts became our most popular accessory initially. And then as we've heard more and more, the free divers and the Spiros are starting to catch in. And
Mhm.
the leg mount attachment is really, really doing well. And especially for the video guys, the Instagram guys, the YouTubers, and then the float fin. So the accessories that we have are growing in popularity as word of what Lefeet has. Now, the one thing that I have to go back to I guess it's about 13 years in propulsion, not dive scooters necessarily. They bounced back and forth throughout what I've been doing. But the biggest problem, and if we think of dive shop dealers in the past, they always had the big DPVs for rent. And they slowly stopped doing that because on any given day, half of them wouldn't work. They had a full-time repairman keeping them running, and it took up a ton of space and a ton of inventory dollars. But the reliability, as I've seen, where you're working with saltwater, electronics, and the pressure of depth.
So we have a question here. Says the specs indicate that a single unit is good for a diver load up to 70 kilograms. So that's 154 pounds. Above that, we'd recommend 2 units. Will a single unit burn up with a diver that is heavier than 154 pounds, or would it just be slower? Maybe the battery lasts less. Like, what's going on with that?
So battery runtime is kind of a fixed thing. It's
Mhm.
going to run that long. Now, if it's a 70 kilo guy, 140, 150 pounds, or my 380 pound gentleman, first of all, the 170 pound guy, 150 pound guy, he's going to use it at low speed and move along fine. And he's going to get over an hour of continuous runtime that way. The bigger guy is probably going to use it on medium or high, in which case he's going to get 45 minutes or 30 minutes of runtime. It will still move him. It will move him and pull a guy. So, in fact, I've never even seen that weight rating before, but I'm 235, and the single moves me around just fine, especially when I'm scuba.
Some
Because-
people are asking to see those accessories out of the box. I just don't want to. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I do think it's important because I want them to see kind of how easy it is to put these things on.
Yeah. And while you're pulling that out, I'll just say that I went mech teeth hunting in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And I used the Lefeet,
Yeah, me too.
which I'm bigger than 154 pounds. And I know it's a shocker. I used the Lefeet to get to the line, the down line, all the way down. Like I used it. Why swim?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I used it, and then it was just fantastic to
So even
cruise
for
around
big
at
guys,
different areas.
for big guys. Yeah.
And
works.
are you going to tell them how else you used it?
Well, we may or may not have had to blow some sand out of the way with these,
Right.
because if you try to do
People-
that with a giant scooter, you're going to end up back on the surface.
No, and people use ping. So the way it works is the teeth are under like a layer of sand. All right. So
Right.
people use like
you have
ping
to.
pong paddles and stuff to blow the sand and then look for the teeth below the sand. But if you angle the Lefeet and you just hang on to it, you can just blow a larger piece of sand faster.
Yeah, and it's not on a. We're not doing this
It's
on
just
like
sand.
delicate reef. It's just
No,
sand.
it's just sand.
It's
Right.
just sand off the bottom of the ocean.
Right. We have a large contingent in North Carolina that use that. And
That's us.
I'll also take another chance to shout out to the accolades that was being given to the Georgia Aquarium.
Hmm.
And they've been using Lefeet since DEMA of last year.
Cool.
Nice.
So we're putting them through their paces. But anyway, getting back to the leg mounts,
Yes.
and I can take the whole thing out.
I think people
it's
would
really-
like to see that.
Velcro belts with these two pieces. And the Lefeet has 2 rail mounts that the handles go to, but on the sides, there's 2 holes. And the reason we have that is when you mount the unit onto the leg mount or the tank mount, you want to have access to your controls and speed settings. If we mount it in those same holes, it'd cover it up.
Right.
So this is the leg mount, and it's simply Velcro belt around the waist and individual belts around each thigh.
And
That's the leg.
remote control.
and the
And I'm
wireless remote, which comes with the unit. The tank mount is very much the same thing, and it has that same plastic piece, but now we just have straps that go onto your cylinder.
So definitely doing this.
Connects very, very simple. It's universal. You may need to work within the confines of your BCD. It may want to be in the way a little bit, but it'll always work. It also comes, both of them come with two. So if you bought a single and your buddy bought a single, you could buy one set of these and split it up and both put one on your tank.
Yeah.
Also, if you buy two singles and then turn it into the double with the rail kit, you always have everything you need to make two single units as well. And what we found is that the adult diver might get the double, but then when he comes home, he might break it back into two singles and let the kids jet around in the pool or use it around the boat or around the docks or some things. And sometimes you might put the float fin on for the smaller kid.
That's cool.
To me, the biggest two things about it are the reliability and the versatility. To use it as a one-hand, a two-hand, a double, a leg mount, tank mount, paddleboard mount, however you want to, that wireless remote, the battery cost and the simplicity to swap out batteries. A fun little piece about the battery, and so many DPVs, if water gets in, it's a big problem.
Yep.
When we take our nose cap off, you'll notice there's no O-ring in there. No O-ring at all. The O-ring is in the battery connection. When this clips on and it connects, you can actually ride your scooter with this wide open.
Wow.
If water gets into the battery compartment, nobody cares, because my battery is fully sealed, and when it's connected to this, it's fully sealed, impervious to salt water.
Pretty cool.
Nice. Good stuff. That's
No
awesome.
problem. I can't wait for Gus to remote control me.
I want to see pictures of it.
It's going to be amazing.
And I want to
video.
see pictures of you wearing 10 of them.
Oh, that would be.
I'm going to strap myself as much as humanly possible. Strap
everywhere.
me
Just
up.
go. Safety third.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I want to thank you guys both. I want to
Thank you.
Tim and Dive Right In. It's a pleasure, and I look
Thanks,
forward
Steve.
to seeing you all at DEMA and
Definitely.
maybe in the water somewhere.
Sounds
see you
great.
then.
Awesome. Thank you.